Good morning and welcome to Auckland International Airport. The time is currently 5 a.m. and today we're going to be flying a very unique flight which connects New Zealand's largest city with the French overseas territory of New Caledonia and its largest city of Noumea. As mainland France is over 24 hours from New Zealand, who would have thought you could actually fly direct between New Zealand and France in little over 3 hours? But the surprising news is yes, you can, to the overseas territory of New Caledonia, which is a mere 2.5 hours from Australia or 3 hours from New Zealand. After spending the night before at a nearby Auckland Airport hotel after flying up from Christchurch the evening before, getting to the airport only involved a leisurely 10-minute walk this morning. If you are, however, travelling from the city, we recommend pre-booking the nationwide super shuttle service, especially for an early morning departure. Arriving just after 5 a.m. and expecting the significant crowds and loggerheads at security that had been recently published in the media and about how the airport was struggling to cope, I was surprised to see the airport was still quite quiet, although not all the telltale signs of 2 years of the COVID pandemic had disappeared quite yet. The airport was still quite quiet. Arriving just after 5 a.m, I was immediately able to check in for my flight to Noumea, where an Air New Zealand staff member nearby was eager to ensure the process was smooth and efficient. The Works Deluxe product that I had purchased had entitled me to priority check-in and boarding, but with no crowds there was no real need to use it anyway. Like with my Qantas flight out of Sydney several weeks earlier, I was able to use the self-service kiosk and automated bag drop facilities, which only took a minute or two to complete. It's great to see this technology becoming even more accessible to international travellers on an increasing amount of airlines. This morning I was flying in economy, so I did not have access to the priority screening and immigration, although at this early morning hour it only took mere minutes to become airside. The route between New Zealand's largest city and New Caledonia's Toronto International Airport is perhaps one of the more unique and certainly less frequented flights out of Auckland. Nonetheless, two airlines service the route, namely Aotearoa's flagship Air New Zealand and New Caledonia's home-based Air Caledon. The two airlines combine as a code-share partners and offer just 4 return services per week between the two airlines, whom you can book each other's flights on. Air New Zealand operate a service departing Auckland every Wednesday and Saturday mornings, operating a mixture of A320 and A321neo aircraft, while Air Caledon ply the route on Thursdays and Sundays with afternoon departures on both their A320neo and A330neo aircraft. The flight time from Auckland to Noumea is little over 3 hours, heading in a rather due north direction. Given the rather small frequency of services between New Zealand and New Caledonia, don't expect fierce competition on the route, nor any bargain basement fares. Those hoping to fly business class will need to opt to fly Air Caledon, although as you'll find out on Air New Zealand's Works Deluxe product, which we're about to review, it offers a perfectly acceptable alternative for the relatively short daytime flight, which on this occasion cost me 381 Australian dollars. Whilst Air New Zealand is by no sense a budget airline in the traditional sense, the airline has a mixed and flexible fare structure offering that differs depending on the destination. For example, all of Air New Zealand's long-haul international flights, such as to North America and Asia, are fully inclusive of a luggage allowance and food and beverage. Air New Zealand's domestic services are economy only, with no meals or drinks included, except for water, tea or coffee, although passengers can buy from an onboard menu. On its flights from Australia and to the Pacific Islands, passengers can choose from 4 economy bundles, which are seat, Seat Plus bag, the Works or Work Deluxe, which come in ascending level inclusions. Flights operated by wide-body aircraft also offer business class. While some might not be a fan of the a la carte fare structure on Trans-Tasman and other short-haul international flights, they do give the passengers flexibility and only paying for the inclusions they need. Today's flight to Noumea was indeed one of the short-haul international flights which offered this unbundled approach where you can pick and choose which inclusions you would like. On this flight, as I was flying economy and I'm not a member of Air New Zealand's Airpoint Club or have frequent flyer status with them, fortunately this meant I couldn't have access to the Air New Zealand lounge, but pity not, with Priority Pass this meant I was able to access the Strata Lounge at Auckland Airport. While it's not the most largest or elaborate of lounges, it's still nonetheless classy, and there's plenty of comfortable and varied seating options which cater for both leisure and work. The lounge does not offer direct views of the runway, but instead offers views of the departure shopping concourse, which is a great place to watch the hustle and bustle of the airport passengers going by. Food available for this mid-Wednesday morning flight out of Auckland consists of a self-serve buffet serving popular continental breakfast favourites, in addition to a self-service espresso machine which provided for more than adequate breakfast and a morning caffeine fix. Alcohol is available at any time the lounge is open, which contrasts with many domestic lounges such as Qantas Club where it's not available until noon. Free and fast Wi-Fi is also available for those who need to get down to work or be productive. After an enjoyable few hours or so having breakfast in a well-made flat white, I've quickly found it time to board my flight up to Noumea. For those wishing to know more about the lounge and my overall impressions of it, feel free to visit my dedicated review on aussiejetsetter.com.au. Today's flight was on a typical Airbus A320, the workhorse behind all of Air New Zealand's domestic jet service and also many of its short-haul Trans-Tasman and South Pacific routes. The internationally configured Air New Zealand A320 has 168 seats in an all-economy free configuration. While there is no business class offered on any of Air New Zealand's A320 and A321 aircraft, there are certainly plenty of ways to snag a more spacious seat, with certain seats in row 1 to 11 being Space Plus seats, offering better legroom, while Works Deluxe passengers will be seated in either row 1 or 2 with guaranteed empty middle seat, as we were today. On this flight, we will seat in Seat 1A, which offered plenty of extra legroom and of course the vacant middle seat. The only perhaps downside of this seat is the centre armrest, which cannot be lowered, which acts to partly hinder the utility of a vacant extra seat, but it can still be useful for keeping your own personal possessions within easy reach. Overall, for about an extra $90 over the cost of the work bundle, and considering the cost of purchasing extra legroom separately, overall the Works Deluxe package offers great value. This Air New Zealand Airbus A320 came equipped with seat back or in-arm in-flight entertainment for all its economy class only cabin. While still rather small, Air New Zealand's in-flight entertainment provides a reasonably good, if not overly extensive range of TV shows, music, and of course the in-flight moving map. On this flight, eager to see the scenery after takeoff from Auckland, up past the Bay of Islands and north into the Pacific Ocean, I didn't really use the IFE other than to track the flight's progress. No Wi-Fi is offered on this short-haul international flight. For those relying on good entertainment to get through a longer flight, I'd probably recommend bringing your own device loaded with content, just in case you don't fancy Air New Zealand's offering. Air New Zealand, for its Australian and short-haul Pacific Island flights, operates on an a la carte booking structure where passengers can choose the level inclusions with their fare, while all passengers, including those only on the seat or seat plus bag fare, will access free water, tea and coffee. Those who have paid for the Works or indeed the Works Deluxe are offered a hot meal and complimentary drinks. Shortly after takeoff on this morning flight, the crew were equipped to bring around the drinks cart, and we were offered scrambled eggs which hit the spot. Whilst I was unsure initially how generous the airline would be in offering complimentary drinks, they were certainly not afraid to be continually offering them. A great innovation at Air New Zealand is being able to order food and drink via the Inflight entertainment system, which is a great way to understand what is on offer and having to save the cabin crew both initially to ask for something and also to explain the menu offerings. For those on the most basic fare inclusions, the system allows passengers to pay for their order via the in-flight entertainment screen, and for those on the Works or Works Deluxe package, the system will highlight the free inclusions, whilst there's still a small amount of more premium beverages that can be purchased separately. On this flight, the crew were exceptionally attentive and returned with my ordered drinks within a minute or two of ordering. Overall, the cabin crew were outstanding on this flight, and you could really tell they were enjoying working on this flight to the French overseas territory this morning. We were very quiet, packed slow. The plane being less than half full, they seemed eager to engage with the balanced passenger ratio of Kiwi holiday makers and French nationals returning home. It has now gone just over a little over 2 hours since we took off from Auckland, and we've quickly swapped the chilly winter weather of New Zealand for the balmy tropics of New Caledonia. We're soon starting our descent into New Caledonia's La Tononta International Airport, which is located around 40 kilometres to the north of Noumea. And this descent provides spectacular views of the main island of Grand Terre's tropical coastline and rugged interior. So now, as we start our descent into Noumea, what better time to sit back, relax, and just take it all in? After landing, I'll then offer my further thoughts on the flight itself overall. Overall, this morning's flight was really good for what it was worth, and one of the best experiences flying economy that we had ever experienced. Compared to recently disrupted flights back in Australia, Air New Zealand were punctual and on time, and the service of the crew was really good. Air New Zealand's Works Deluxe products ticks all the right boxes for those flying economy who would otherwise want and likely purchase all the extra bells and whistles, or are simply unable to fly business due to its lack of offering on this route. The Works Deluxe package came out at $134 more than the cheapest possible booking, which included nothing more than a 7 kilo carry-on allowance, or around $90 more than the Works, which came with a 23 kilo allowance, food, beverage and entertainment. For the extra money spent, you're also getting a guaranteed neighbour-free seat, 2 23 kilo baggage allowances and premium check-in and boarding, and of course some of the best seats on the plane in row 1 and 2, including the extra legroom seats. That being said, I'm confident, regardless of what airfare package all the passengers had purchased on this particular flight, that they had an enjoyable flight in line with the expectation of what they paid for. Overall, a really great flight today with Air New Zealand. Once we arrived in New Caledonia, the formalities were super easy, and with it being such a small airport, there was basically no walk to customs and immigration that were welcoming and quickly processed one of the only few flights a day. A small duty-free shop is also available after immigration counter and before luggage claim and customs, but we advise there's generally better value and variety to be had at an Australian or New Zealand airport. Due to a lengthy distance of over 40 kilometres and nearly a 1 hour drive to central Noumea, we recommend pre-booking a shuttle transfer before arriving, which can be arranged by most hotels. Alternatively, shuttle services can be purchased on arrival. We recommend using the main shuttle operator ARC and CO. Do expect the possibility of waiting until all passengers have cleared customs though, as the shuttles are timed to meet each of the few arriving flights daily. I really hope you've enjoyed us today as you joined us for this morning's flight up to Noumea from Auckland. Please also visit my website aussiejetsetter.com.au, which I'll put a link in the description below, where you can see all the latest flight reviews, lounge reviews, destination guides, frequent flyer hacks, industry news and more. But until next time, thanks for watching and safe travels wherever that might take you.